What's up everybody, welcome back to User Experience Points. I know, Shadow of Mordor is another fantasy game, but I can't put the damn thing down and at least this week I get to be topical. Much like the game itself, Shadow of Mordor's UI and UX design is a strong combination of well-executed established ideas and a few great original ones. I never thought I would be talking about a loading screen on UXP, but this one is pretty awesome. So one of the ways this game tells its story is through audio flashbacks of Talion's life pre-Wraith possession that play while the world loads when you first start up the game. The fact that the game world only needs to load once each play session is a pretty great accomplishment on its own, but the coolest thing about this screen is that when the game is done loading, it won't immediately drop you in if an audio flashback is still playing. Instead, you're given a button prompt that replaces the loading icon, informing you that you can play anytime since the game is done loading, but you're welcome to finish listening to the flashback. If a flashback is currently not playing, as was the case every single time I tried to capture footage of this screen, the game drops you right in when it's done loading. User-centric design choices like this that create those "oh, that's nice" moments are the most crucial elements of good user experiences. Shadow of Mordor's weapon UI is basically the cooler medieval version of all the gun customization options you see in shooter games. You get to see a close-up of Talion's sword, bow, and dagger and upgrade them with runes that cosmetically show up on the weapons, then look at them even closer if you'd like. It's so awesome to see a game where the sword is actually important and iconic instead of an item to be discarded when you find one with better numbers on it. That's what the runes are for. Managing the runes for each weapon is a pleasant experience thanks to the ability to exchange lower level ones for the currency used to purchase other upgrades for Talion. Before committing to exchanging a rune, you're given a clear breakdown of what you'll receive for doing so. You'll notice that the runes are represented by icons, which is fine since you always know what they mean thanks to the information on the right of the screen, but you'll often end up with multiple runes that provide the same bonus at different levels. It would be nice to be able to see these levels on the rune icons themselves to allow for quick comparisons and improve the efficiency of discarding weaker ones. I have one other nitpick that involves the option to view the weapon's stat summary that shows the effects of the currently equipped runes. This option is actually less useful than the screen that precedes it. On the stat summary page, there's no separation between the effects, which can be confusing since some are 2 lines of text. Yet when you're on the screen where you choose which rune to equip before it, there's a clear visual separation that makes the effects easier to distinguish. This feature feels a little underdeveloped, which is too bad because an even clearer stats summary screen would be a great user experience. After spending a bunch of time managing and equipping runes, it would be nice to see a clearer breakdown of the final result of my work. I would also especially like to see if equipping 2 runes of the same effect actually stacks, since that's currently not made clear. Shadow of Mordor's coolest feature is the Nemesis system, in which orc captains work their way up the ranks of Sauron's army by increasing their power through feats like winning a duel with another captain, or surviving an encounter with you, creating some really great unique gameplay experiences. Talion has to learn as much as he can about these captains in order to exploit their weaknesses and ultimately take down the war chiefs, the highest ranking officers, at least as far as I've played. Naturally, you will have to use the Sauron's army menu constantly to plot your next move in sabotaging the orc chain of command. You can select a new target to assassinate if you've identified them, choose orcs to learn about using information gained from interrogations, and get an overall view of the specific events happening, like a recruitment mission you can ruin or a feast you can crash. The process of actually making these decisions is easy thanks to some smart visual cues, quick navigation, and great calls to action. This could simply be the captain's location or information about an event that they're involved in. If you're looking at an unidentified captain, then the instructions on how to interrogate orcs for information in order to obtain this identity is displayed instead. Simple visual cues are also used to let you know if a captain is near your location, whether they're a bodyguard to a war chief, and it marks them as a revenge target if they've recently killed you. Oh right, so you're kind of a ghost monster in this game, so every time you die, the world moves on instead of resetting. This means orcs who manage to kill you might get promoted and will remember you if you fight them again.
You are dead, but you walk! Intriguing.
Once you select a captain, you can look at more detailed information about him like his strengths and weaknesses to better prepare yourself for taking him on. Marking a captain as your next target has a nice UX touch by separately mapping that action to its own button. Then additionally assigning it to the same button used to zoom in once you've done so, since a natural inclination of the user would be to hit that button again. This menu also has a quick shortcut to your map, allowing you to plot your route to your next target. The Nemesis system is not only Shadow of Mordor's coolest feature, but the menu that supports it is definitely the best user experience in the whole game. And that's it for this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed our time in the realm of fantasy, because next week we're going to go to Seattle. Don't forget to subscribe and do all the social media gobbledygook if you're enjoying the show. Your awesome feedback is what keeps me going, you guys, so keep doing it, and I will see you next week.